Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're good. Hope you're well. Wanted to come on and talk to you today before you sort of break from work for the weekend, and talk to you about negative emotions, because I know we all feel them. I know they all come up, and it doesn't matter how positive we can feel, we're still going to have to deal with negative emotions and negative thoughts. And the reason this has come up for me is because I got sort of caught in my own little trap yesterday in a bit of a negative rut. And I'd let it get to the point where it was actually keeping me stuck and keeping me down there. And so I just thought, I basically went through my toolbox, because now that I'm aware of what's going on in my mind, and I know how to shift my thoughts, how to shift my emotions, how to shift my vibration, and I know how important it is, and I decide that I don't want to stay down there. I had to go through my toolbox and start trying out different things to help me shift how I was feeling. And at the time, normally I know what I need and I can just go and do that thing or use that tool or that technique. And I know that it's going to help me. But yesterday, for some reason, I just didn't know what it was. And I think I went through all of that to remind me of everything I have in my toolbox that can help me on a day-to-day basis. And B, as an inspiration to come on to you, talk to you about it and share these tools and these tips with you so that you have access to them too. So while it didn't feel good yesterday, I'm really, really glad I went through it all, because we all have to deal with them, right? We're human beings. We have negative emotions. We have negative thoughts. And it's not about us having to be positive all the time. It's not about us having to panic when these things come up. It's just about us having the tools and the desire and the ability to shift it and choose what we want to think and feel instead. So, and another really, really important thing to note here as well is that when we do feel a negative emotion, the last thing we want to do is suppress it. We don't want to hold it down. We don't want to suppress it, because all it's going to do is manifest at a later date, bigger and angrier than it was when it first went down. Or it can manifest into physical illness in your body, into disease. So we really, really do, if we're feeling negative emotion, we need to be able to process it and let it come out, because it's just energy getting stuck in your body and it will come out in one way or another. So the easiest thing to do is let it all out. So I don't know if you've listened to people talking about success mindset and manifestation before, where you're left feeling that you can't ever have a negative thought or emotion ever again. Otherwise, you're just going to manifest the worst things into your life, or you're never going to be successful. It's just not true. We're human, and this is what we have. And actually, our negative emotions and our negative thoughts are all part of us growing. It's all part of us evolving and learning our lessons and moving on. So it's a necessity, and it's just living in the contrast. It also helps us to know what we don't want. So if we're feeling this now, we don't want this. So what do we want? And it helps us get clear about where we want to go, and the life that we want to have, and the situation that we want to have, and how we want to feel. And another thing to note as well is our subconscious mind is extremely clever, and it will release things to us at a time that we're ready to deal with it. So this could be old wounds, it could be trauma from the past. And you might end up getting, when you do growth work, you might end up getting some random memories from a long time ago, and you just think, where the hell does that come from? This is because your subconscious mind knows it's time, you're ready, you're in a position where you can now process it and let it go. So it no longer needs to be stored down there. So as these things come up, just be aware that it's all part of you just need to process it, and that's okay. And it doesn't matter if you feel bad. You can let yourself feel bad. You can let yourself feel the emotion, let it come out. But there are tools that you can do that you can use to move you through it a lot quicker. And that's what I want to share with you today, because it's not about not having them. It's about being able to move past them, move through them, process them, and then bounce back quickly. So you're not held down anywhere for too long. Because when we're talking about success mindset and manifestation, it's the dominant thoughts that you hold on to. It's the dominant vibration. It's the dominant energy that attracts into you everything that's coming into your life. So we don't want to stay there, but we certainly do want to welcome it and allow it, and then let it move on and through us, clearing the way for positive energy. Okay, so as I said, I got caught short with this yesterday. I was in like quite a negative state. And the problem is, when you're feeling negative, you start attracting lots and lots of thoughts that are also negative, because they're on the same vibration as how you're feeling, the same frequency. So, of course, my thoughts started compounding about everything, and it made me feel angry. It made me feel sad and frustrated, and all sorts of negative emotions. So I really did go down on my toolbox. And one of the things that I used was something that I learned from Michael Beckwith, who is amazing. If you've never studied him or listened to him, he's incredible. And he said, because when we have a really strong emotion mixed with a thought or a belief, that really does get implanted into the subconscious mind, which is why we use visualization, for example, and we have to get emotionally involved, because that helps plant the ideas that we want into our subconscious mind. And of course, our beliefs and the ideas that are held there are what creates our behavior, and it's what sets up an attractive force for things to come into our life on that same sort of level. So his suggestion, and I loved this, was if you ever get angry, or if you're ever feeling really stressed or just pissed off, then go into your car, turn up the music loud, and then just shout as loud as you can, but shout what you want it to be. So you're affirming what you want, instead of letting this negative emotion build up, and you're affirming those beliefs and those doubts and those negative thoughts that you have. Instead of saying all of that and getting them even deeper set into your subconscious mind, you start shouting out the things that you really want, but using that same potent force to make it an even stronger sort of belief, and make it more powerful in terms of law of attraction. So that's just such a brilliant tool, and it's definitely one that I recommend. I did use that. It wasn't what I needed at the time, but I did use it, and it did feel pretty good for a while as well. And then you're affirming what you want, and you're not getting stuck with making the limiting beliefs and the negative thinking like holding on even tighter into your subconscious mind. So another thing that I use as well is exercise. This for me, again, it was good for a while yesterday, but it didn't help what I was needing help with. But I find when I'm stressed or get a little bit negative, get a little bit cranky or short-tempered or impatient, yes, I do all the mindset work, but yes, I'm also human. So of course I go through all these things like everyone else. I'm on my own. I'm a single mum with kids, and two businesses, and a dog. Of course I react sometimes and get all of these things. So I use the gym. So I'll go to the gym and go and exercise. And I love going to the gym because it gets the adrenaline going, and that really shifts my vibration. It shifts my energy. And I know Tony Robbins is a great advocate for sort of using physicality to shift how you think and how you feel. So that's another really good way to do it. So if you go for a run, or whatever your jam is, do you like to walk? Do you like to go do yoga, drive in a car? Whatever it is, go do that. Just move your body, go somewhere else and put yourself in a different state. This really helped me, this next one, which is journaling. So I always used to tell myself that I didn't like writing. I said it for years. I don't like writing. I just want to use a keyboard or text or whatever. But there's something very powerful about writing on a pad with a pen in your hand, and it goes into the subconscious even more. And actually, it's just a way for your subconscious to be able to stream. So as soon as I started writing down what was going on in my mind, it's just all flooding out. So it's a way of me actually accessing what on earth's going on down there that I'm not even consciously aware of, that's making me feel like this. So it's a really good way to just let it all come out and let it all flow out. And by giving it attention, it's not that you're focusing on it and making it happen to you even more. You're just giving it an outlet. So doing that is really, really powerful. And then what I do when I write things like that are really negative and I'm just letting it all out, often it will then turn around into I start affirming, because I've processed it in my mind and I'm like, actually, that's not what I want anymore. So I could do this and I could do this. And then I start affirming the new way that I feel now. And so it kind of goes around in a circle, and it's all been released. And then I end on a positive vibe of what it is that I'm creating and what I want. But if that doesn't happen, then you can take those pages and literally burn them. Obviously do it carefully. It can't be held responsibly. But you burn them, because that's sending a signal to your subconscious mind that you're letting go of whatever's on there. And it's really, really powerful. And then after you've done that, you just write a paragraph in your journal to say how you want it to be. And then you affirm that to yourself. So it's almost like you've cleared the negative side and then you've replaced it with something that you prefer, which is kind of the work we do with beliefs anyway. So that's another powerful, and that really, really helped me yesterday. But the one thing that helped me the most, and this doesn't always work, you have to get to know yourself really, really well, and you have to become really aware of what it is you need for each different emotions that you're feeling and for where you are. But what really, really helped me yesterday was tapping. So I follow a guy called Brad Yates. I never do it for very long. He's got really short videos, something from 6 minutes to 10 minutes or 12 minutes. And he's really, really good at it. And what it is you tap, there's different energy points that you've got. And you basically, you talk through it. You talk through the issue that you're going through, and then you reaffirm what you want. So it's similar to doing the journal, but he does it in a guided way. So you just follow what he's doing, and then you tap different points of your body and your face, and it releases the energy. And you can feel the shift in your energy and your emotion, like straight away. It really, really does work. So I found that really powerful. So I did a couple of those yesterday, and that was it. I was feeling so much better, right as rain again. And it was just so powerful. So there are some other ones that I'll drop in here as well. And if you've got any, drop them in the comments. I'd love to know. Let's share. Let's make this a resource that everyone can use, because everyone will have something different. And of course, one thing won't work for everyone. We all need different things. And it's not just a personality thing. It's we all need different things, different tools at different times as well, depending on the circumstance that we're in. So I'd love for you to drop in your comments what it is that you use to shift negative emotion and shift negative thinking. So the last few, meditation. It's a brilliant one for calming the mind. So if you're feeling really, really bad, then you can either go onto Google and or go into Headspace. There's meditation apps. You can use one of those. Go onto Google. I like to use Abraham Hicks. Bob Proctor's got some good ones. There's loads of different ones on Google, YouTube. And just, you can either do it guided like that, or you can just, Abraham Hicks always recommends listening to white noise as well. So you could literally just put a white noise machine on and listen to it for 15, 20 minutes. Just keep centering your thoughts. So you just keep coming back to nothing. Oh, hello there. I'm not sure who's on because I can't see your name, but you use affirmations, gratitudes, and goals journaling. Yeah, exactly. They're all really, really powerful. Gratitude is so powerful. Sometimes we can't find it when we're really, really deep in negative emotion. And that's where Abraham Hicks's sliding scale of, if you look it up on Google, she's got an image which shows you the scale of emotions that go from sort of depression right up into joy and bliss. And she always, oh, hi, Zoe. Hi there. She basically encourages you to go step by step up the emotional scale, because you can't reach joy and bliss from being in a depressed state, but you might be able to reach frustration and anger. And then you can work your way up the emotional scale until you feel where you want to be. So yeah, they're really powerful. Totally agree. Affirmations, gratitudes, and goals journaling, they're brilliant. So yeah, meditation. So just quiet your mind, because then you're shifting your state. You're actually you're stopping those thoughts going on and on and on, the really negative ones. You're just stopping it and you're calming your mind. And by doing that, and of course the breathing with meditation will just relax you, and it allows the air to go through your body, and it allows your energy to completely change. So again, you're changing state, you're shifting vibration, and you are just becoming a lot calmer. So another one would be music. Like, music cheers me up. I love music. So you could get in the car and whack your music up and go for a drive, or you could just go and do a kitchen disco, which is something I'm quite partial to. I've got a record player that I love getting out some of the old records. And I love having a little boogie in the kitchen by myself, because why not? So anything that's going to make you feel good, anything that will just basically stop that train of thought, stop that train of feeling, stop that state of mind, and basically shift you into somewhere that you want to be, that you enjoy. And then I can't even read. Oh yeah, I know what I was trying to say here. So another thing that I found as well, if I can shift the emotions using one of these tools, and then say I go and do a bit of work, or say I go and address something that I've been putting off, that I've been really, really procrastinating about. And it could be something so silly as clearing up a part of the house, or taking some parcels or returns back to the post office. That's something I always delay and procrastinate. But I'll then go and do a little task like that, because immediately I feel this sense of relief and achievement, and I feel really, really good about myself. So not only have I shifted my negative emotion, I've then started making myself feel proud and accomplished. And it sounds silly because it's something so small, but these things just do it because, you're not going to have any resistance to it, because you're not going to tell yourself, this isn't going to be successful, this isn't going to work, I don't want to show up like that, fear of rejection, fear of, any of these things that could arise from us doing things in our business. If we do the simpler tasks and we build up our pride and our sense of achievement that way, we're not going to be resistant to them. We're just going to go do them, and it makes us feel really, really good. So I hope all of those helps. Please do, anyone else watching, please let's collect all of these tips and tools, because we can all use them. And it's just a case, like I said, it's not a case of getting rid of or suppressing or holding down any negative emotion and thinking. It's all about working through it and bouncing back to where we want to be as quickly as we can. And that's all we need to do. And remember, the biggest piece of all of this is, why is that arising? Why is that coming up? What are the thoughts behind your emotions? Because your thoughts will create those emotions. So what are you thinking that's making you feel bad? And then what is the belief underneath those thoughts that's creating those thoughts. What does all of this mean? What are you believing to be true? Why do you feel bad? What are you telling yourself? Okay. And then you can do some belief work around it, because all it's done is just show you that you've got some belief work to do. It's shown you where to work on. It's great. Not only does negative emotion, living in the contrast, as Abraham Hicks would say it, show you what you want, it gives you clarity about what you want. It also shows you where you need to work on next. And remember, growth, personal growth it goes on forever. It doesn't ever stop. This is always the work to do. So it's not like you just do it once and you're done, right? So these things are always going to rise up. And as long as we've got our tools in our toolkit and we know how to react and respond and manage ourselves, then we will live a happy and fulfilled life, because we're putting ourselves in the driver's seat. We're not playing victim. We're not saying that everything outside of us is controlling us. We are taking ownership and responsibility, and we are changing our lives ourselves, all from our minds. So I hope you've enjoyed today's live. I've really enjoyed coming in and talking about this. Really glad that I went through it all yesterday so that I could share all of this with you today. And I think that's the whole purpose here. So have a brilliant weekend, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to or an emoji in the comment and let me know that you've seen it. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.